Hi, everybody. Welcome to part four of this four-part series that is specific for movement following hip replacement. And my other videos with about hip replacement really look at mindset, finding gratitude, just other places in our life that we need to tap into when we're going through something really hard. I wanted to put together a series of movement now that I'm a little bit more mobile and just some of the ways that I have found comfort in my body. So, part one, we looked at the spine. We looked at all six directions of the spine and how to get some of that energy flowing back in our body when we have spent maybe weeks or even months being very sedentary. Part two, we looked at just some slight external rotation of the hips, some heel slides, just starting to fire up some of the lower body and some of the areas of our body that have been dealing with recovering from surgery. And then part three, I had you stand up using a kitchen sink or the back of a sofa or a countertop and really start to engage the hip flexors, the booty, kind of get some things going. And of course, all of this is complementary to your physical therapy that you're working with your surgeon and your PT department with. But this is really like that whole body connection because we don't just want to focus on our hip. We want to focus on the totality of our body and our spirit because that's going to propel us into better healing. So the final video for this four-part series is we're going to be on the ground. Now, I'm sitting like this because I cannot sit cross-legged. It's not going to happen, probably ever. And I'm okay with that. This works for me. If you've had knee replacement, this will not work for you. But if you have just cranky knees, this is actually a great position to be in to increase blood flow into the knee joint. You can't be here long, but it's just a nice way to begin. So we're actually going to be on our backs, and you will need to have a strap, just like we did in part three, or you can just use an everyday belt. I would not recommend using the stretchy kind that you get from PT because if you accidentally let go of one end, it's going to snap, and we don't want that. So we're going to begin by getting onto our backs, and I'm just going to have the strap kind of laying over my hips, not going to use it right now. Now, if you need help getting up and down, get up and down, and then meet me back here. All right, so I'm going to work the pelvis to begin. Here's how I like to teach this kind of Pilates-ish mindset of the pelvis. I want you just to lay your hands on top of the space between your navel and your pubic bone. Okay, so if you're a female, that place where we have, menstrual cramps and all of that. And if you're a male, just the low belly. Okay, and so now I want you to imprint your spine down to the floor and feel how your hands moved towards you. And now come back to what we call neutral. So if I slipped my hand underneath my spine, you can see my fingers. So we want a little bit of space underneath the spine. If you were to place a cup of tea on your low belly right here where your hands are, the tea would not spill. That's what we want in neutral. So you'll take a breath, and then I want you to pour the tea into your belly button by tucking the tailbone under. Pour the tea or fill up the teacup again, rock back to neutral, pour the tea into your navel. Fill up your teacup, pour your teacup. I want you just to find this pelvic tilt. Okay, so we're just going to keep tilting. You're going to take maybe 4 or 5 of these. This is engaging the innermost muscles of your core, wrapping around the pelvis, strengthening your low back. 3 more. Pour your tea, fill up your tea. Pour it, fill it. Okay, so you start to feel some heat, just engagement. And now come back to filling up your teacup so it's neutral. Walk your feet close to your cheeks. Arms are going to be down by your side. You can watch one time and then get back into it, but don't turn your head. So we're going to come to neutral. So we're filling up the teacup. Then I'm going to pour the teacup. My spine's stuck to the ground. And now I'm going to push into my heels and elevate my hips. Here I am in a bridge, something that probably your PT is having you do or will have you do. Squeeze your buns. Take a breath. And now lay your spine down, bone by bone by bone. Don't just flop down or collapse down, but lay it down all the way to your tailbone and then fill up your teacup. Okay, so there's a little bit of breath and movement connection here. So get back into this position, fill up your teacup, take a breath in. On your exhale, pour your tea. On your inhale, peel your spine up, lift your hips to the sky. On your exhale, push hard into your feet. Feel your quads engage. Inhale, lift an inch. And then exhale, come on down. Nice and slow. Empty the breath. Follow it. Try to breathe as long and slow as you can. Inhale back to neutral. Fill up your teacup. Exhale, imprint your spine. Pour your tea. Inhale, hips rise. Exhale, push, engage, squeeze. Inhale to lift an inch. Exhale, lower it down. We're going to do it one more time. This is something you should be doing every day. Inhale back to neutral. Fill up your tea. Exhale, imprint your spine. Inhale, hips rise. Push on your exhale. Fire up the legs. Inhale, lift an inch. Exhale, lay your spine down. So good. Straighten your left leg. Just get some space there. Straighten your right leg. Get some space. Sweep your arms overhead. Find that good morning stretch. If you've been sitting for quite some time, you're going to feel a nice lengthening through your hip flexors, your psoas muscles. This whole front seam is going to feel a nice stretch. Reach further than you possibly think you can. Point your pretty toes. And then come on back. Bend your knees. Grab your strap that's on your waist and hook it over your right foot. Straighten your left leg. And then just allow your hands to hold on to the tails of your strap. Now, we ideally want to have the leg that's up straight. So depending on your tightness, you might be here. In fact, I think that's where I am. If I were to put my leg straight up, it's painful and I'm not getting the benefit that I want. So I'm going to just gently loop the strap over my fingers. I'm not death gripping it. I just got it looped and I'm going to find a straight leg. Bring your toes towards your nose. So we're pushing through the heel. You will feel a beautiful, nice stretch behind your right leg that's in the air. Now take your right leg over to the left slightly. You're going to feel that. Okay, this is my unaffected leg, but it is much tighter because I'm using it so much. Bring it back to neutral, again to the left. Feel that? Come back to neutral. That's your IT band. One more time. Over to the left. We're not going far, maybe just as wide as your body. Come back to neutral. Now we're going to try drawing some circles. Okay, keeping the legs straight is key, and keeping the heel towards the ceiling is key. And try not to use momentum here. We're just looking for movement, getting that ball and socket to get moving and feel okay. Reverse your circles. Feel the difference of direction, how it gets integral into the inner thigh, the outer thigh. One more circle. Straight up we go. Push through the heel. Now we're going to use our breath here. I'm going to choke up a little higher on my strap. I'm not going to yank and be forceful. I'm going to be loving and kind to my body. Take a breath. On your exhale, open your elbows and just invite the leg to become a little more perpendicular. Inhale, release it just a little bit. Exhale, elbows go wide and we gently pull, invite, not yank. Two more. Inhale, let it relax. Push through the heel. Exhale. Ooh. One more. Inhale, let it relax. Exhale, elbows go wide. We get a nice stretch and we stay. Okay, so this is really pulling down into the glute, hamstring, behind the knee. Remember, we want to be straight. So I have a tendency to forget that I'm looking for that straight leg and I want to be up here, and it's just not working. So the straighter the leg, the better. And maybe you start with it at a diagonal way down here. That's okay. You begin where you begin and be tender and nice to yourself. All right, bend your knee. Let's try the other leg. This will be my affected leg. We'll see how she's feeling today. Straighten your right leg. Straighten your left leg. Try not to grip the strap. Okay, so here I am with a straight leg. The heel is up, toes are towards my nose. And I'm just going to sweep it slightly to the right, not much, because we want to be mindful of those precautions. But I just want to see if I can feel a little bit of that IT band. Come back to neutral, just a little bit. I'm moving my left leg maybe 2-3 inches. I'm not crossing. Okay, just a little bit. Neutral. One more, just to get a stretch for the outside. And now come back to neutral. As I draw circles now, on the external part of my circle, I feel a stretch through my inner thigh. Go nice and slow here. Okay, you can also do these circles by sitting in a chair if you're not able to get on the floor. So you can maybe just skip the bridge part and do the circles while you're still recovering. And once you're able to get on the floor, reverse your directions. Then go ahead and come back to this video and try it again. 3 more. Feel that? If you go slow and mindful, you really can feel all the different muscles getting a nice stretch. Come back to neutral. I'm going to choke up just a little bit. Push through the heel, get a nice straight leg. Take a breath in. On your exhale, pull your elbows apart and invite the leg a little more perpendicular. Inhale to relax it. Exhale to invite it. Don't yank it. Just say, hey, come with me, old friends. Exhale, invite it. One more. Take a breath in. Here we go and stay. Breathe, breathe, and breathe. My affected leg, the leg I had surgery, actually is less tight because it's not doing as much. So as we progress through our healing, ideally we would like to have our legs be more equal. My right leg is very, very tight. My left leg, not so much. So as I continue to do this, take a breath and then lower it. Go ahead and bend your knees, place your feet on the mat, and tick-tock over so that you're sitting up. As I progress in my own healing, hopefully my legs will even out more. Okay, so this is nice one. Final 2 stretches. Feet are to the left. I'm sitting on my right butt cheek. Okay, my heart is to you. I'm going to take my left hand, sweep it around to the outside of my bent right leg. I feel a beautiful stretch through my quadricep, up my ribs, almost into my rib cage. And now I'm going to spin my heart to the right. And I feel this huge stretch here on the leg I had surgery on that has been pretty bent for a long time. It's just been hanging out. And this feels amazing for me. One more breath. Wind your belly back to front, and we'll do the other side. This side's a little tricky. Okay, so your side, whatever side you've had surgery on, is going to be a little tricky. Feet go to the right. I'm going to sit on my left cheek. My left cheek, even though I'm 7 months out of surgery, is still cranky. And the biggest thing I've learned through all of this that I have shared over and over in my videos, this is not a quick fix. It's not a quick recovery. This is where, the snail wins the race. Like the slower the recovery, I think the better. As frustrating as it is at times, I know that I'm on the trajectory very slow like a tortoise. I'm going to get there, but I'm not jumping over all these little important steps. So feet are to the right, weight of my body's on my left butt cheek, right arm sweeps around to the outside of the left, get long through the spine, and then spin. I don't feel as much of a sensation on this side, which indicates to me my left side where I had surgery, the front of my leg is very, very tight. Okay, so it's just body awareness. It's just knowing what I need when I need it, and then come back around. I'm going to come back to the position I was sitting before. If you're able to sit like this, great. If not, sit in a comfortable position. My final thoughts on this part 4 series of movement. Move your body every day in some way that makes you feel good. If it's circling your arms and that's where you're at, then do that. If you're reaching up and taking a side bend and another side bend, that's where you're at. The biggest thing that I've learned in my journey of yoga and Pilates and body awareness and mindfulness practice is to tune in to the beautiful language my body is speaking, listen to her, and then give her what she needs. There are days where she needs more walks, more movement, and there are days where she needs more time sitting in a chair reading a book. Don't do it often, but maybe that's what she needs and I don't listen. So I'm still practicing this lifestyle of listening. And one of the ways that I have really embodied the lifestyle of mindfulness is to check in every single day with 3 questions. How is my mind? How is my body? And how is my spirit? If my mind is cluttered and busy and worried and distracted, then I know I need to do something for my mind. If my body is tired, if it's sore, if it has low energy, then I know I need to do something. If my spirit feels disconnected, hopeless, I need to do something. And taking just 30 seconds every day to tune in, my mind, my body, my spirit, then I create a plan. And if my plan is to move, if it's to sit quietly or read a book, or it's to call a friend or meditate, that I know that I'm giving my body, mind, and spirit what she needs. Most important, all of these exercises are great, but you have to know you and you have to know what you need. And we're talking holistically, the whole package, not just your hip. I know that we have this tendency to focus on the hip, getting better, getting better, getting better. But we got to take care of the rest of us. Otherwise, we're not going to be whole. Okay. I recently did a blog post. I can link it below about a monocular. And if we had a monocular and we were looking through the monocular at our hip, and that's all we were looking at for days and weeks and months, some of us years, we would miss all of the beauty around us. We would miss opportunities for relationship. We would miss opportunities to touch, to feel, to smell, to be alive if all we're doing is this. So broaden your monocular to see the wholeness of you and your life and your recovery, and try to lose that tunnel vision monocular look at just your hip, the whole package. And then, of course, I will preach this till the day I stop breathing. Gratitude every single day will take the monocular vision to something greater. Okay, we've got a journey ahead of us. If you're watching this video and you've been through hip replacement, you're on the journey. You're not alone. There are people all over that are with you, and we're doing it together. And we're bringing in a totality and a wholeness to our beings that's not just a monocular vision on our hip. Reach out to me, questions, feedback, anything. Let's keep this conversation going. This is the end of the 4-part series, but that doesn't mean I'm done. I got lots more coming. I just want to be supportive of myself and of you. If you're going through this, I want you to know you're not alone. I know I'm not alone. Your messages, comments, writing to me, so beautiful. It has truly helped me get through the last 7 months. So take care. I will see you again. I'm not done. And if you are curious, follow along on my 30 days of yoga this month. It's all gentle. It can all be modified to a chair, but give it a try. It's a way to reset and get acclimated to movement in a very loving, forgiving way. All right, take care. I'll see you soon. Happy healing. You got this. Bye.